Hi, it's Graham Wilson here and welcome to day 4 of our personal leadership challenge. It's been really great working with you. I've got a really powerful and self-reflective module I'd like to share with you today. It's really about how you build an authentic leadership brand. It's going to be a slightly different format to the previous videos I've shared with you, where we looked at the context of leadership, what does great leadership look like, and the last module all around the 10 leadership disciplines. This one is really focused on leading self, and it's really about you as a person and identifying who you really are. You're that core of who you really are, and then start to really think about your strengths and think about how you put your strengths to use, and then really start to build your authentic leadership brand. So I'm going to share with you a process. Actually, there's two processes. There's the quick process. Those of you who want to just go through top level and have a quick go yourself. And that process will take you through a number of questions and ideas and thoughts to be able to help you to hone what you believe your leadership brand actually is. The second process I'm going to share with you is going to be taking you through a more detailed process that does require you to have had some insights and ideas around using psychometric testing. So understanding who you are from a personality and a behavioural point of view is quite useful. Understanding what your strengths are. It doesn't matter what tools you use. I think they're all fantastic. So anything from, I recommend using Facet 5 and Strengths Profile, but there's other tools out there that are equally good. I've done MBTI before, I've done DISC before, Insights before, all great tools. The key is, how do I take that information? How do I start to use that information? And how do I actually use it to then create a authentic leadership brand? So how do I translate the data and the information to something that's really meaningful? So the process is slightly different to the previous modules I said before. I'm going to guide you through a booklet. The booklet is available for download, and I'll take you through a step-by-step process. Now, normally we would do this in a workshop environment with lots of interaction and exercises to hone this and having coaches and facilitators there. So have to bear with us at the moment, and feel free to ask any questions or give us some emails or thoughts about it if you're not sure about it. But hopefully I'll be able to guide you through the process tonight and share those ideas with you. And then you'll be able to download the booklet and have a go through the questions and start to hone your leadership brand. I'd love to know what you come up with. Share that with me, share some insights and ideas, and then get into the idea about how you can articulate that and test it out with people and get some feedback from people. So let's go and have a look at the model and have a look at the framework and have a look at the process we're now going to use to help you create your leadership brand. I'm going to start with just a wonderful quote that really summarizes the importance of having a leadership brand that is well thought through and is really authentic. And the quote is this: "Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room." How great is that? A great thought to get the ball rolling on this process. So let's have a look at a couple of brands. So there's 4 on here. There's obviously the bottom right hand side, a really famous person, Graham Wilson, founder of Success Factory. So my personal brand is all around awakening possibility in leaders to deliver extraordinary results. That's what I want to be famous for. That's the impact I want to have, and that's what really helps me on a day-to-day basis to make sure that I'm being authentic and using my strengths in order to deliver what I really want out of life. And you can see some others there from Richard Branson and a couple of others there from really famous people in terms of the world of business. So they are great ideas that people have thought through, and Richard's there to have fun in my journey through life and learn from my mistakes. What a great brand, and I'm sure he really lives up to that, doesn't he, in terms of what he does and the difference he actually makes. There's Denise Morrison there, to serve as a leader, live a balanced life and apply ethical principles to make a significant difference. To use my gifts of intelligence, charisma, serial optimism to cultivate the self-worth and net worth of women around the world. Let's have a look at the process of doing it. Here's the quick one. I promised you 2 processes. Here's the quick way. This is from my book, Leadership Laid Bare, and it really takes you through 4 stages of discovery, focus, communicate, and align. So these are a set of questions that you can print out and just have a real think and reflect. Get yourself a coffee, a glass of wine, a beer, whatever you like, whatever takes your fancy, and just work your way through the questions, get some feedback from other people as well, and really come up with some thoughts and ideas around what that really means for you in terms of discovery. And then think about what is it that you want to really become famous for. Not what people say to you when you're not in the room, but what do you really want to be famous for based on your strengths. And then think about how you can actually create a leadership brand statement. I want to be known for awakening possibility in teams and leaders so that I can deliver extraordinary results. think about your brand statement, and then of course align to that brand statement to make sure you're really authentic, and make sure you're going to think about what you're going to stop, start and continue doing to live your leadership brand. So that's a quick way. Let's have a look at a more detailed, a more comprehensive way of actually really reflecting and thinking about what does your authentic leadership brand really look like. We like to use this inside out impact model, we call it, and it looks at the layers, really starting with our personality, the things that that make up who we really are, our hardwiring, our consistent personality traits. And then we start to help you to define what your passions and what your strengths are. So based on your values, your skills, experiences and passions, and things that will change throughout your life, but your personality is pretty set, isn't it? Then your passions and your strengths, and then helping us to use your personality, passion and strengths to then think about your purpose, what gives you meaning, what's important for you, and then to articulate and create your persona or your leadership brand. And then of course the final step is to go and actually get some feedback from other people and to think about whether your brand is actually authentic and it's actually being true and people can actually see it. Now of course the square box around the outside of the circles is the context you're actually operating in. So that's the environment you're in, the company you work for perhaps, or it might be your own business, but the culture, the values and the skills required in your particular context are really important as well. So that's the model we're going to use. That's the model we use in our workshops. That's the model we use when we're working one-to-one with leaders to help them to really create their authentic leadership brand. But it starts with personality. So let's go and have a look at the first step. What we'll be doing really is like a funneling process, I guess, is to start to work out who you are and then think about what you do. And that goes like a hopper, isn't it, of putting loads of ingredients into the hopper, like passions and strengths, personality and purpose, and actually combining all those to think about what I want to be known for, and then actually articulating that into your leadership persona or leadership brand. Let's have a look at the first of our circles, which is really about personality. I said before, I like to use Facet 5. It's a great tool. This is the Facet 5 profile tool. So I'm not going to go through on this video, perhaps another video about what Facet 5 is, but it gives you a number of measures on these 5 areas of will, control, affection, energy and emotionality. And you can start to see what some of those actually mean now. This actually is my profile. This is what I come out with when I do my Facet 5. So just above midpoint on will, very low on control, just above average towards high on affection, and very high on energy and low on emotionality. So the word cloud really is a set of words that would describe that profile. That might mean absolutely nothing to you at the moment, but the words give it a bit of colour, doesn't it, in terms of being creative, I'm optimistic, I'm permissive, confident, outgoing, goal-focused, consensual, enthusiastic, people-orientated, independent, accommodating, helpful and trusting. And I guess that's really who I am as a person. So this profile really starts to help you identify what is it that you should be doing in your life, in your role, in your job. And of course we do one-to-one feedback sessions with people and we guide them through this and help them understand what each of those facets actually mean and why emotionality is separate. So that's really one of the tools. You might, for example, have done a Myers-Briggs type indicator. I come out as my preferences in MBTI are extrovert, intuition, feeling and perceiving. So I'm a ENFP in my MBTI style. And I guess you've got discs and insights and life orientations and SDI are all great tools you can start to use to help you understand what your strengths actually are. The Facet 5 gives you a family. There's a number of different families, so you can see quite a few here. And if I flip to the next one, the top left, advocate is my family type. So this is just a way of helping you to identify, based on the wide range of other profiles have been done, and give you a set of descriptions which really help, but also give you some thoughts and ideas about when your style perhaps could impede or not be helpful. So exuberance, outgoing manner, likes people, principles, ideas, wide-ranging interests and exciting ideas, very persuasive when inspired, but can be impulsive, takes on a cause. That's so true. And I could interfere with others' work, so I have to work on that to make sure that I don't get involved with people. So that's my family type. So I've got a family type, advocate. I've got my Facet 5 profile, and then obviously in the detail report, this is one of the pages on the report you get. It gives you an idea about who you really are and how that relates to the aspects of being a leader, what you're motivated by, the word picture that you've seen before already, how I contribute to team, but also how to actually manage me. So encourage debate and new ideas, create an informal work environment, make it spontaneous, fun-loving. I can always remember an example of an environment which was really inhibiting for me was when the organization I was working for at the time went through ISO 9000, which is a quality management system, and someone turning up with a manual telling me that's how I'm going to do my job. I've never met them before, but they told me in this manual that's exactly what you need to do, and that's what you're going to be measured on. I found that really, really difficult because I like it to be informal and not actually be told what to do, but to make it fun and engaging. And you'll see a bit later on when you start to look at some of my strengths of why that actually is. So that's Facet 5. So again, using the tools that you've had before, just start to think about what your strengths are. So what we tend to do when we're working people one-to-one or in groups, at this point, after we've done the Facet 5 feedback, and we've had some really good debate and discussions with the teams, a little bit of coaching, a little feedback, a little bit of sharing differences and how that plays out in a work environment. What we do is we get people to summarize what they feel based on their profile, what their key strengths are, but what are some of the key risks that they're facing in order to think through at a later date. So that's the summary of the Facet 5. Once we've done that and we've got the personality, then we move on to what we call the passions and the strengths. So this is where we like to use what we call Strength Profiler. If you don't want to do the questionnaire, then these are probably the 5 best questions that I've come across to help you to understand what your strengths are. What was your best day at work in the last 3 months? What was the worst day at work in the last 3 months? What's the best manager relationship you ever had? What's the best recognition you ever had? And when in your career have you learned the most? So answering those questions will give you a good idea about what your strengths actually are. So if you want to do it very quickly, have a go at that and think through what your answers are for that. Using the Strengths Profile tool, what this does is it comes up with a selection of 60 strengths, and it breaks it down into what your personal realized strengths are, the strengths that you use regularly and you really enjoy. It also helps you to understand what your unrealized strengths are. So this is the golden point for development. Things that you don't know their strengths, and things that you don't use as often as you could do because you don't really know their strengths. What your learned behaviors are, the things you've learned to do but may not enjoy, but also what are some of your weaknesses, things you find hard and don't really enjoy. And the two top quadrants or rectangles, they are the things that give you energy, and the two below that will take energy away. So use the realized strengths, use them wisely. A strength overplayed obviously becomes a weakness. And use more of your unrealized strengths. Use your learned behaviors when needed, and use less of your weakness, and find other people and other areas to be able to compensate for your weaknesses. So let's have a look at what that looks for real. So this again is my strengths profile. So my top realized strength is narrator. My top unrealized strength is curiosity, and I think that's quite interesting for me to think that through. And actually, since doing the profile, I have actually started to use that a lot more, and I am curious. I do that. It's interesting. We had a set of principles that we brought our children up with, and I've got 2 girls, and it was all about really bringing them up to be caring children, to be confident, and to be curious in what they actually do. And I think that is a key thing for me to work on. My top learned behavior, detail. Detail just takes energy from me. So I have people who support me with that. I can do that. And adherence to rules is my top weakness. And I guess that is something I'll never overcome. It's just who I am. So when I go to a car park with lots of lines in the car park, I start getting a twitch. I'm only joking, by the way. But you can see underneath those 4 quadrants, you can start to see a little bit more information of my top strengths based on the 60 total strengths that I could have had based on the questions I've answered on the profile. When you think about what I do as a leadership coach and a leadership trainer, I'm actually I've created a business where it allows me to really use my strengths and really helps me to live my purpose around awakening possibility in people to deliver extraordinary results. So what I've got now is some detail of information around my facet 5, my personality, but also my strengths. And I'd also then start to think about what some of my passions are. And what we do is we go through a coaching process. Again, you'll be able to download this booklet and have a look at these questions in the booklet and start to think about what your realized strengths are and unrealized strengths are, and start to answer some of those questions. And again, you'll learn behaviors and weaknesses. So we've got our personality, we've got our passion and strengths. We're starting to map that out there. We're starting to make sense of that. Now is our time to really develop our purpose. So the steps we do there really is identifying your purpose. Is we help you to look at your critical business objectives. So again, a little exercise there to answer those questions. And then we start to mix that with your personal critical objectives as well. So create a list and then start to prioritize those lists from a business and a personal point of view. The next step then is to think about what are your critical relationships that you need and have that are important to you. Again, to list those and to prioritize those in terms of the impact on your future success. And also, what are your critical moments, in work and at home as well? What are the important things for you to actually do? What's the biggest impact on your future success? So once you've done that, of course, then you'll start to form what we call your purpose. So after doing the facet 5, my strengths and thinking about those relationships and those critical moments around business and at home, for me, my purpose started to come out of that in terms of awakening possibility in people to deliver extra results. It started to pull together from this point. So let's have a look at that and remind ourselves that what we're doing here, we've looked at our purpose and our personality and our strengths, and now we're looking at what we want to be famous for and then creating your leadership brand. So let's have a look at some of the questions that will help you to pull all this data together and then create your brand. So we've done the who I am, personality, passion and strengths. You've had to look at your purpose, and now we're on to 3, 4 and 5. So here's a little exercise. Get a bit of space, go for a walk, have a think about it, go for a run, do whatever you do to get in the right mindset, and just think about what is it you want to be known for. What do you want to be famous for? How would you want other people to describe you? And then to write some descriptive words around that, no more than 6 words to do that. So again, get some space and time and reflect on it. Don't rush it, just think about it and jot them down. Whatever comes in your head, just jot them down. Once you've done that, then to turn those words into some key phrases, identify 2 or 3 key phrases that you can connect with that really work for you. And then once you've got those phrases, which is really describing what you're known for, is to then start to create what we call your leadership brand. And this statement here, I want to be known for being, and so that I can deliver. It's just a format. You don't have to follow that, but what is it you want to be famous for? So for me, it's around awakening possibility in people. So I normally say awakening possibility in leaders and teams in order to deliver extraordinary results. And that's really my brand. That's really what I focus on day in, day out, and on what I actually do. So have a go at those questions and see what you come with. Talk to your closest ones, talk to your workmates, perhaps do it as a team as well, perhaps do it virtually as well. You have a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting or a Hangout or whatever you do to actually do there. And then start to think about, well, if I've now got this persona and brand and it's starting to get a bit clearer, how do I actually live it? So again, jot some ideas and thoughts. And the final bit really is to then get some feedback from people and to think about what other people think about you in terms of what you do on a good day and perhaps what you do on a bad day. So make contact with people, and of course the only thing you can say to feedback, of course, is thank you. So be honest and be open with people and get them to write down how they see you on a good day and how they see you on a bad day. Get some feedback and some thoughts and ideas around that. And then perhaps think about some of the words and some ideas and thoughts that can help you to drive that forward. And then think about perhaps some of the critical moments that you're in and what you do on a good day and what you do on a bad day. Again, these are just ideas and thoughts. And then what happens in terms of these critical moments? What can you do to actually make sure that you can
align to your actual brand and reinforce the good bits. Again, the next bit then is around your critical objectives. So what do you do on a good day and a bad day? So you can see the sort of pattern coming through here, can't you, in terms of what we're doing here. And this is just a great exercise. You can do it all in one go. You can do it over a period of time. Doesn't really matter. But just get yourself some space, some time where you can relax and reflect on it. Again, what can I do to support that and build on those strengths? And then the final bit of all this is to create a plan and to actually make it real. So there's some tips and hints and ideas about how to do that. And let me show you the template that we use. It's got 2 pages. First one is to summarize all your critical objectives, your relationships and your critical moments. Summarize your facet 5 insights, summarize your strength profile, and then to record your leadership brand down at the bottom there. And on the second page then, in order to make sure this is really powerful and authentic, what are your development goals? What are the actions you need to take? What are some of the consequences if I don't? And what are the consequences that when I do live this authentic brand, what are the benefits I get? So a nice 2-page action plan for you to develop your personal impact plan.
So I really hope you found that useful, and I've gone through that process fairly quickly. So download the book, have a read through the book. I'd recommend you'd read it right from the start all the way through so you get an idea of the process that we're going through. Sometimes it's quite a good idea to print out the back pages, so as you go through it you can actually record on the action plan template. But have a look at the toolkit. Let me know if you've got any questions, any thoughts. I know I've gone through that quite quickly, so let me know if you've got any questions or thoughts. Just drop me a line in whatever format you can, direct message or on email. I'm more than happy to answer it. Even give me a phone call if you like. More than happy to talk you through it. But if you need some support in terms of the facet 5 or the strength profile tool, let me know. I'm more than happy to point you in the right direction and certainly do the facet 5 with you, give you some feedback and help you with that, and also the strength profile as I mentioned on the video. So give it a go, and I'd love to find out what you come up with. Let's start sharing your leadership brands and start sharing what you come up with, and more importantly, let's start living life in an authentic way, because I know that when you're really authentic, you'll have more power as a leader, you get more stuff done, you'll have more influence, more impact, and you'll live a wonderful life. So looking forward to the next video. The next video is all about how you create a high performance team. So I'll see you tomorrow and give you ideas and thoughts about how you actually create and set up your team for success, and more importantly, how you sustain high performance in your winning teams. So we'll see you tomorrow.